Greetings, good day, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are when you watch this live. My name is Odessa, womb wellness coach, and I wanted to talk with you today about the importance of women's wellness, women's medicine being in women's hands. Um, I I started doing this work because I found that there was a loss. I felt at a loss for myself. I started doing this work because I needed to know how I was going to feel better in my body, how I was going to learn about that self love, that womanhoodness, that natural healing that I had heard about. How could I apply this in my life? How can I get results from hormonal imbalances that I was living? Because the doctors that I was going to see, unfortunately, whereas you can get some relief, from the conditions that you're living with, but sometimes, and the truth of the matter is, oftentimes when it comes to women's medicine and medicine in general, like, you're given synthetic medication, and this is what's creating, more long-term problems. So I created this program. Because I know for a fact that before modern medicine began, women's health was in women's hands. It was women who were helping women to birth. It was women who were using a lot of medicine, a lot of herbal medicine. It was women who were using yoni steaming, heat therapy. It was women who just knew about the caretaking aspect, and it was taken away. It was stripped away. The power was given away, to men who wanted to explore under the Marion Sims model, right? And I've talked about him before. He was the doctor who had access to a plethora of African enslaved women, African American and African enslaved women. And so without using anesthesia, he practiced on them different techniques for healing fistulas and post-birth traumas and all kinds of other issues, prolapses, whatever, a woman would have been dealing with. He was using these women to practice the work and didn't think that they deserved medication. And so, taking the medicine away from women, introducing a very barbaric way of healing women, and then basing all of women's medicine off of surgical procedure creates a disconnection, right? A disconnection to the natural cycles that we live. It creates a disconnection to, women in their bodies, in themselves, and how they trust themselves, because now they're being told the best thing for you is to have a surgery, is to have something removed, is to take the synthetic medication, whereas these old medicines are now being renewed, revived, and reused. And so this is where my program comes in. My practitioners self-care and feminine healing program. This is a program that I have been wanting to share for so long. It comes out of the Fertility Secrets and Womb Wisdom, and the years of work that I have been doing in the past with women, and in spiritual therapy, and as a dancer, and as a body worker, as a naturopath, nutrition, herbs, just combining all of these things to create a hybrid teaching and coaching experience for practitioners, specifically practitioners who work with women. So we're looking at doulas and nurses and, any kind of healthcare practitioner, OBGYN, if this is something that you're interested in pursuing, but really to create a new way of approaching gynecology from the perspective of the self, understanding what's going on within the self, you knowing what your own medicine is, you having the tools to understand what your medicine is, so you can navigate your health and you can be more of service to the women who you are in connection with within your community, who you continue to support. And so it's really about ushering women into this new era of gynecology, and really envisioning how this can look, how this can be. Can we go to our doctors and have a conversation where I feel as though I've come out feeling empowered and heard, having said everything that I've had to say, and opening up the conversation to other possibilities, and being confident that my requests are going to be heard and followed through. So this is you feeling like that in your body, and also you knowing how to support your clients on their journey with this information at the same time. So it's about really creating a new paradigm for women for healing, so that we can feel safer when interfacing and interacting with other people, and especially primarily our caregivers, who may not always be hip to the realities of how women are treated, and want to make the difference and the changes. And so, as I was mentioning, this program, it's a hybrid program teaching and coaching women, specifically doulas, nurses, healthcare practitioners, and healers who want to navigate their own self-care, but also understand how to support their own communities. Give thanks for this love. And that's it. It was created to be able to give that support and bridge that understanding. Natural medicine is something that's all around us, that we all have access to, that we shouldn't be afraid of. We're not trained to know how to tap into this natural stuff, and we actually ignore when the information comes to us. Natural medicine is about learning the basics of the tangibles, but it's also about understanding the overview of how we really are living on this life, because there's a particular kind of cyclical energy, alignment, and rhythm that we all live through, but we're unaware of. And so through engaging in this program, we're able to walk through these cycles and reveal different ways of living within the ebb and flow that really equip you with the information that you need. So we learn about nutrition, we learn about herbs, we learn about vaginal steaming, we learn about massaging, we learn about therapeutic movement, we learn about energy work, we learn about just all things that have to do with healing. I myself have over 20 years of study and practice, and I've learned over 15 modalities. And so I'm really extremely passionate about approaching the body, approaching the being, and approaching the person in a way that gives us more flexibility if one way doesn't work, because it isn't cookie cutter. It isn't one thing fits all. One, recipe works for each individual and each person. And so this work is about, like I mentioned earlier, learning your medicine, learning how to tap into your self-medicine, helping you to move beyond the feelings that you might have in your own body of fatigue, of tiredness, right? Of indifference, of pain, of discomfort, you know what I mean? Of ambiguity, of whatever experiences that you're going through, and get you to navigate through the different layers of what a problem is, what wellness is, what sickness is, and learn how to celebrate your body, learn how to celebrate who you are coming in as a unique individual, imprinting here now today, specifically as a woman. Give thanks for that, love. And so as we learn to celebrate ourselves, we learn to commune in group with women. We learn to heal our lineages as we do this womb wellness work. And whenever women come together, we tend to sync energies and create new vortexes and experiences for ourselves and for the people around them. So I am just really excited about this work. It's really about helping others to facilitate their own self-healing and then ignite others to do the same. And so by creating this container, by working within this container, each individual has a chance to feel heard, to be seen, to be nourished, and to know that it is a safe space for you to be able to explore those vulnerabilities. So when you do join the group, when you do apply for the program. The process is that you just click on the link in my bio and you can book a suitability call with me, or you can just slide into my DMs and I can pre-qualify you there. And through that process, we get to understand where the gaps are in your own journey as a practitioner, as a health caregiver, as a healer, as a woman, and really understand how you can fill in those gaps. What is needed for you? What is it that you need to learn? And how can we bring these pieces together for you to be able to feel as though you can move the needle? And so this is the kind of conversation that we have when we come together on the suitability call. And if your answer is yes, you're ready to join, you're prepared to commit to the next 6 months of weekly work, reflection, and group trainings, one of the first things that we do is get you going with your MAP, your multidimensional awareness and assessment protocol. And this is where we begin with your own self-reflection into your own health. It's about, I believe, I have to confirm again, but I believe it's about 3 to 5 assessments. I don't remember the number, but it's already set up there for the practitioners to go in and start that process of deep reflection. So when we come together on our first calls, you're already aware of your own history and your own story. So we can just continue building as we journey through this pathway of womb cleansing and feminine energy. I am so excited, if you didn't know. Class begins on the 12th of September. For those who are wondering and questioning, is there a deadline to join? Yes, there is, based off of the amount of work that goes into preparing, and setting up. And so class begins on the 12th of September. And so we're actually taking calls. I'm taking applications and calls up until this week on the 5th of August. And so of September. So if being a part of this container is something that you're interested in doing, if you know that you have reached a point in your own healing where you're looking for that balance, you are ready to commit to a deeper level of prioritizing your self-care, if you know that you are called to do the kind of work that supports women on their journeys to womb wellness, of health, of childbirthing, of wherever they are on their own journeys, and you feel called to support them, and you want to know about natural remedies, you want to know about natural healing, you want to understand what energy is, you think you have connections, and you want to have that kind of container that gives you the space to explore with hands-on guidance, then this is something that you want to join. This is a program that you want to join. This program is for those practitioners who are ready and want to engage right now. It's for practitioners who know that they have to do the work as it's been given to you to be able to get the results. And after you've learned the rules and you can bend them, but not before. This is for those women who are not afraid to do the work and don't want to take pieces right now. This is not for women who just want to dabble here and there to see if this is something that they can use further on, later on. This is not for women who are unable to commit. If you have issues with committing to programs, if you have issues to committing to showing up on time, then this is not for you. And this is not for anyone who is not coachable. If you are the type of person who doesn't like to be told what to do, who doesn't like to be guided, who can't take deep reflections to go back and see how you can get the best out of the moment and the time and the support you have, this program is not for you. What makes this program stand out from a lot of what's out there right now is that we have coaching, a hybrid coaching and teaching model that we're using. So within this womb cleanse that I teach my clients, that I teach the practitioners, we walk through 3 different core phases as well as frameworks to support these phases. And so you have pre-recorded content that you're going through, you have workbooks, you have templates, you have bonuses, but you also have live time work with me, live time reflections with me. We have monthly Yoni Steam meetup groups. Like, this is really about getting you into the work and hands on, hands wet, learning it in real time. I developed this work out of my own, experience, really and truly. I know I talked about irregular cycles, but the biggest piece really came after the birth of my 4th child and the experience that I had with postpartum depression and needing to get myself on track, not really having anyone in my corner, doctors not really doing more investigation as I needed to be able to feel satisfied or even get the results that I needed to feel back or feel better or return to myself. And so I just began developing and implementing the work and just kind of, walking through and looking at how this is going to be helpful to myself. And this is how the program began. And so I'm really, really excited to be able to offer this to you, to have the conversations around what your needs are, where you want to go, where you see yourself, and how I can be of service and how this program could be of service to you. So please make sure to click on the link below and schedule your suitability call with me, or you can feel free to hop into my DMs and let me know, say interested, and we can have that conversation. So I'm going to let you all go and just remind you that it's now time to start celebrating women. It's now time to start celebrating our decisions, our choices, whether you're a stay-at-home mother, whether you stay with your children, whether you are a hardworking CEO, whether you are a nurse, whether you are a teacher, whatever it is that you choose to do. If you are a childcare worker, you matter, and your health matters, and the influence that you have on the other womb carriers and women around you matter now more than before. And so I just want to leave you with that. Let's celebrate one another. Let's, nourish one another. Let's encourage one another. So y'all take care, be well, and I'll talk with you again soon.